So good evening everybody and welcome back to FTRL, and it is a new season of Gran Turismo action here on the channel as we commence season 20 of the Gran Turismo franchise. Third season on GT7, and we kick off our 20th campaign at a new but classic circuit. Is the Grand Valley Highway. Those of you who've been playing Gran Turismo for a long time, back since the original game, you may recognise this circuit, even if it's in slightly new surroundings then. So we're going kicking off then, and joining me on comms this week is Mr. Espew. Good evening, Sean.
Good evening, Lee. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
So, new season upon us already. So
20?
flying through these seasons now.
Season 20, can't believe it.
20, I know, isn't it just another one about to kick off then, and yeah, so you want to run us through how this season's format looks?
Okay, so we are kicking off the season heading back to a manufacturer's cup. So each of the teams has had to choose a certain manufacturer. It went in reverse order from the fastest driver, should we say, from the previous seasons getting to choose their car or their manufacturer last. So we're looking to see if that brings a bit of balance this season and a bit of competition for the podium places. We are running a Group 4 race and a Group 3 race every week. In some instances, there's actually 2 Group 4 races, but this evening was just the one. And then reverse grid for the Group 3 race, rolling starts. And then selection of tyres, so soft tyres only for this first race in the Group 4 cars, and then a choice of tyres with tyre and fuel depletion on for the second race.
Indeed, and so 10-week calendar this season, so going a little bit longer, give us even more racing action coming up. And yeah, and so let's begin. We'll start the thing, pick up the camera angle that allows us to see where everybody is, and go down the runners and riders. If we can get a decent camera angle, that would help. So then, pole position is not. No, I need to get the thingies up. There we go. And what have I names? There we go. Right then, pole position then. A stall. I've got to take one. Go in. There we go. Too many. FTRL Pagani then takes the first pole position of the new season, and he and his teammate this season is Aaron, and they are in the Ferraris in their almost traditional now Milka liveries, the purple and white cars. So expect to see plenty of them at the pointy end. Then, how do you feel about the Ferrari on the current game?
It's okay. It's better than it used to be, in my view. A little bit twitchy still, but I didn't mind it too much when I tried it out. Not one of the stronger cars, but out of what was left, yeah, definitely it could well be a good choice, especially in these guys' hands.
Yeah, so the Group 4 car is very, very quick, isn't it? Straight line. It's a lot more stable. The Group 3 still a little bit tail happy, as I found. I don't know about yourself. It's
yeah,
absolutely a bold choice from these two, considering what was left. But we shall see how they get on. Obviously, the Group 4 car very racy because Pagani has stuck it on pole position ahead of the inevitable Mr. T. Smith, and he and his teammate Ross this season have a bit Lamborghini. Now, the Group 4 car has always been very stable. It's a four-wheel drive car, of course. A little bit nerfed at the moment. It's quite quick in a straight line. But obviously that does mean they have the Group 3 Lamborghini to contend with as well. And to say that I have PTSD with that car would be a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, I found it, again, like borderline. I was very, very close myself to choosing the Lamborghini. Mainly based on the strength of the Group 4 car, which was very, very, very much a lot of fun to drive. And also quite quick as well, as we can see by T. Smith putting it on second. But yeah, just the Group 3 car is, yeah, as I said, on the line, yeah, every now and again.
Yeah, it's definitely more drivable. Even I've found it's more drivable, and I have a very checkered history with that car. And it wasn't. I didn't rule it out as quickly as I thought I would do. But yeah, I think I think I'll keep my distance from it still, continuing, but it's still quite quick. As you can see, T. Smith popping it onto P2. Then P3, we find Captain Chubbs. He is teamed up this season with FTRL Panda. Of course, Chubbs was a bit of a revelation last season. Had some really strong results going through.
Yeah.
And they have selected the Genesis, or to give its actual name, the Benesis.
The Benesis.
The Benesis, yes. So a very quick car. Obviously, it's a new car to GT7. It's good at a couple of tracks, isn't it? In the sort of daily races, it's definitely at the pointy end.
Yeah, and certainly the Group 3 car nailed Brands Hatch in it last season, so there's definitely something there for it. Absolutely.
It isn't, so watch for them being very quick. The Group 3 car, especially, very, very quick in a straight line. So let's see how they get on. P4, we find yourself in the Alfa Romeo there. Very nice in that almost British racing green there on that Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, it's the actual Alpha colour, which I was pleased to find in the livery editor, which is quite nice, a bit of a surprise. So, yeah, sort of mangled an old sort of DTM livery onto there. So.
Good thinking then. So you have a bit of history with this car. You've been in this car on GT Sport once upon a time.
We'll never say no to driving an Alpha.
But I think they say if you are a true driving enthusiast, you have to have an Alfa Romeo at some point.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
So yeah, I wouldn't turn down one of these, but a very nice car indeed. P5, we find Ross then in the second of the Lamborghinis. Slightly different looking there. He's gone back, keeping his sort of beige, magnolia theme from last season. Going with the all jet black one. In P6, we find Graham then. He's teaming up with myself this season then, and we are in the Aston Martin. We've gone for a very bright blue, fading to sort of pink. I can't even see this stupid camera.
Can't even see
in the Aston Martin. So the Aston Martin Group 4 is quite strong. Group 3, I feel like it's lacking a little bit at the minute. Definitely lacking straight line speed. Group 4's solid all round. I think it's a solid car all round. So maybe it doesn't excel anywhere at the moment, but it's also quite sort of doesn't really hinder anywhere. But we shall see how we get on. See the calendar.
I think this is where the car choice was really difficult and quite interesting this season, because there are some quite severe differences between the performance of the respective Group 4 cars and the Group 3 cars, and you don't want to be left behind in either of them. But
so the two I was looking at
made for an interesting choice.
Yeah, the two we were looking at was kind of the Alfa and the Audi. I was kind of leaning towards the Audi. Graham was leaning towards the Aston, and I did a couple of laps. I think I did about a 5-lap stint at Dragon Trail Seaside in both Group 4 cars, and I was about 1.1 seconds quicker in the Aston Martin than the Audi. So that kind of swung it in our favour. So look out for us in the Aston Martin. Then P7, we find Aaron then in the second of the Ferraris, also sporting that Milka livery. P8, then we have a returnee to the FTRL fold. It's FTRL Switchback.
He's back.
A long time no see. Our, of course, resident TV celebrity, famous for his appearance on Tipping Point. And Zach is back, and he is teaming up this season with Kuska, and they are in the Peugeot. Now, the RCZ and the front-wheel drive cars have had that nerf they had for quite a long time on GT Sport, so they are currently very, very quick. Of course, tyre wear is an issue with the front-wheel drive cars, but expect them to be quick at certain circuits where there's not too many corners. And also, the Group 3 Peugeot is one of the best balanced cars, isn't it, in Group 3 at the moment, so expecting some strong results from those two going this season. They qualified 8th and 9th, with Kuska just behind him in P9. P10 is myself in the second. The Aston didn't quite hook up qualifying, so a bit of work to do there. P11 then is former GT2 champ Jonesy, and he is teaming up this season with just Mikey, and they are in the Hondas. Now, they got first pick this season. The Honda, very strong car at the moment, both categories as well. The Group 3 is right up there now, especially with the new handling updates, so expect to see some good results from those two over the season. Of course, Jonesy, a GT1 winner after winning the second race at Brands Hatch last season.
Indeed.
So expecting some big things from Jonesy. Then P12, we find Panda in the second of the Genesis. P30, we have a sub this week, so there was no blue flag, who has teamed up with yourself, I believe.
Immediately abandoned me.
You did indeed. So no him this week. So Frame stepping in this week. He's in the Lexus. P14 we find Mikey in the second of the Hondas. P15 then we find the Mitsubishi pair down the wrong end of the grid. Then we've got prototype Steph in starting P15 and his teammate the returning Nobby Norris in P16. So that's the runners and riders. You know the format. Let's get some racing underway then. 16 laps ahead of us.
I would say just as we start that qualifying was very, very tight. There was something like 0.3 of a second between 4th and I think it was 11th. So, yeah.
I think I was half a second off pole. I think I was 0.080 from Graham, and I was 4 places further back. So that's how tight qualifying was. So they're down into the hairpin for the first time then. And the first overtake going to me there as I got the inside of Kuska, my teammate from last season. And everybody then negotiating that first hairpin, when then Pagani then stretching away immediately, then a little bit hot there into this sort of off-camber right-hander. It's quite long as well. The car's running wide there. Watch out for penalties.
Yeah, this is the most difficult track to jump straight into the new season, especially as a lot of people, myself included, won't have touched it until starting practice for this race.
You might find out just how dangerous it can be without any practice later on. The guy leading us away and having a little bit of a gap to T. Smith immediately. Chubb's keeping him honest. Further back. Everybody still in the hunt. Oh, the beanbags had some dramas and some Steph, so there's been contact already on lap 1, or maybe a couple of offs. No, I need to turn the music off. I've still got the music on, so I'll sort that out between races.
Yeah, we'll have to open this race.
Stretching away as they come round to complete lap 1. The first penalty to Chubbs then. Oh, the track limits here are super, super strict.
Yep, and for anybody that doesn't know,
kicking up some dust around here, the marshals will penalise you.
Yeah, absolutely. For anyone that doesn't know, you are required to serve the penalties as you go lap by lap, so unlike in GT Sport.
Swoop round then on lap 2.
Pagani.
Very twitchy. Early on.
Yeah.
Hanging around.
Pulling out the gap. Second penalty for Chubbs now. And here's where we serve them. So
down behind you, drop into P3. But only losing the one place there. So
yeah, penalty zone not too bad, especially in this race.
So we're going to go board with Pagani then as he starts the next lap. So we'll go a lap on board then just to kind of see the challenges of the circuit then. So everyone's just kind of holding steady at the moment in the pack. Go on board then with Pagani. Up the start finish rate then, speed building. Across the line. Moving out in 6th gear, touching 138. So there is he down the gearbox 2nd gear into the hairpin right hander. Turn 1. We'll track that a little bit of curb up against the fence. Down the straight, then drop downhill to the left. Or hard on the brakes. Inside to the right there, try and hug that inside there. Watch the track drop away to your left there. Don't touch that gravel, you'll get a penalty. Down the gearbox there.
Watch out for the wall.
Right up to the wall. And there, been a bit of a twitch there. He's out on the dirt, Pagani. Put up the dirt there. Pushing hard.
It's working.
Indeed, then through the right hander, then over to the left, tuck in tight. A bit of a slide there from the Ferrari. It's like a bit of a handful at this stage. He goes into the tunnel then. Inside wall. Back out into the sunlight. Across the line he goes. What the Grand Valley looks like on board of the Ferrari. Then looks behind him, he's suddenly got a black Lamborghini all over the back of him as we go back out.
Where did that come from?
Yeah,
black hole.
In the stealth livery, stealthing up on the back of him there. As meanwhile, Chubbs is on the back of you, but now you've got exploring some track limits there.
I was repeating to myself before the start of this race, don't get any penalties. Don't get any penalties. And then,
to avoid any in this race,
lap 4.
I did rack up a few in the main race a little bit later on. Then we can see a big train of cars here. So they've got Frame in 13th, Panda 12th, Jonesy 11th, Kuska 10th, myself in 9th, Switchback 8th, Aaron 7th, Graham in 6th, Ross, yourself and Chubbs, so 3rd all the way down to 11th in a massive train here. Front 2 just inching away as Chubbs has picked up another half-second penalty. Should help him those front 2 break away. He's run out at the first quarter distance.
Throw him in the chat asking why do we do rolling starts. I think it's mainly for the benefit of the second race, with it being a reverse grid. Especially with the reverse grid in the Group 3 cars, cold tyres, you found the grid starts with causing a little bit of carnage, shall we say.
So Peugeot power here at Evanston, the Duracell liveried Peugeot, they're just absolutely hauling ass as it passes me in the straight line, having got alongside each other out of the final corner.
Gonna have a go back though.
Oh yeah, not going to get away with it. So
No.
it goes side by side. Once again, the Peugeot just pulling away in a straight line. We're struggling a little bit to get tucked into that corner there. It's like just right on the edge there. Dirt there as well. James in President's Froman's got ahead of Panda, who served his half-second penalty. Then we've got the recovering Mikey with the Mitsubishi's, and so as Nobby Norris finds a wall. Picked up a half-second penalty, so a little bit of a gap forming between Aaron and Switchback. Now looking up the inside of Graham, coming out of the final corner. Casting those swoops around the outside. Self P5, Chubbs P4. Smith, or Ross rather, is now up into P3, and there's been a change for the lead then, so the Lamborghini hits the front for the first time and probably breaks on the dirt and almost runs off into the scenery. At least the Lamborghini's now first and third.
Big push from Graham here and Aaron as well.
Looking for a way through. As I just said there, please like the stream if you're here and watching. Etc. Etc. Battling for the lead. T. Smith leading with Garney not going away. These two picking up where they left off after pretty much every season for the foreseeable past. Twitch on into the tunnel. Can Garney find a way back through?
Ferrari probably not got the pace down the straights, even in the toe. Not really closing.
Yeah, staying ahead.
He's going to have a look anyway.
A very wide line to one that's just kind of inviting Pagani to stick his nose in, but not close enough that time around.
There's a few ways through that first corner. You can either sort of hug the inside and try and, if the car's okay with riding the curve on the way out, you can get the power down pretty early for a tight line, but a lot of people choosing to sort of swing wide instead.
Through that, Chubbs getting the dirt then. Is that going to be another penalty for the Genesis? He's got away with that one. No, he has not got away with that one then, so another penalty for the Genesis man. Backing them up thick and fast. I think that's about 5 penalties in 7 laps from Chubbs, so pushing the boundaries of track limits are usually a little bit too far.
Yeah, definitely helped us keep in touch. He wasn't slow.
To nose to tail again as they come into the tunnel. Second, third, fourth and fifth nose to tail as well. And still looking for way past Graham. Now cleared Switchback, who served his penalty. However, Peugeot and Jonesy then in the lead of the Hondas. Also very much still in touch as well. So a few battle packs forming. Then we've got Kuska, Frome and Panda together. Panda now with a penalty as well. And then we've got Steph ahead of Beanbag. Will be trailing away, having had that off a couple of laps ago. Then T. Smith with Pagani right under the rear wing of that Lamborghini. So there, got to hold a tighter line there through the right-hander.
So difficult.
Yeah,
so difficult to go through that section right behind somebody like that.
Yeah, you've got to be very, very precise, don't you, as well? These cars obviously aren't affected so much by the dirty air that Group 3 cars are, but... Chubbs on the gravel.
There he goes.
Finds a wall.
I don't know whether he was trying to get out of the way to serve that penalty or just took his eye off the
power and
there,
just got a little, open the steering a little too much in the corner before.
Yeah.
Forward drive car, I thought it was impossible to spin a forward drive car, which was proving us wrong. I've dropped him down to P7 then, so he's now next one in my crosshairs. Still got Switchback and Jonesy very much in tension as well, so 4 cars now battling over P7. Peugeot again, straight line speed. 2-4, not close enough. In the background we've got the Genesis and Lexus side by side. Frome and Panda. Lexus is quick in a straight line. Who's bravest on the brakes? And hanging it around the outside. Giving each other room. Little door handle bashing as they come out of the hairpin. And that is moved on for Panda. And so Panda back up into P12. Gets ahead of the Lexus once again. Good racing there between those two. Switch back, drop back behind Jonesy meanwhile.
Chubb's getting absolutely berated in the chat by Unsafe Release for that spin.
Fair. Up front then, leaders still nose to tail now on lap 9 of 16. Smith continues to lead. Pagani though right under that rear wing still. We've got Ross in a fairly lonely third place now. Sean fourth. Aaron now fifth. Haven't got ahead of Graham, but is bringing Graham with him onto the back there of the Alfa Romeo. Chubb's having dropped back now. Just an inch away again.
One of them.
Jonesy behind me now. Is Jonesy going to fancy? I can't remember if he fancied a move here. I think he does.
Look.
Indeed,
Here he comes.
Pulls to the outside. Coming out the inside for the kind of kink to turn one. And a bit light on the inside. Door very firmly in his face. Retain my P8. Thank you very much. However, Jones switches back, tries to go down the outside, down the hill. It's a bit narrow here though. Thinks better of it. Good drive in there. Sits in behind, waits for another opportunity.
One of the nice things about sort of commenting via the replays is that people like to comment in the chat and let you know when they're about to bottle it. Jones said that's coming up in a few laps for Jonesy apparently. We'll keep an eye on him.
We'll keep an eye on him then. Going into turn one. Battle for the lead then, still raging. T. Smith there running a little bit wide. And the power too early. And it's now a drag race up the start finish straight. It's Italian mid-engine supercars who has got the straight line speed. Pagani nosing ahead.
Milka versus Black Magic here. It's a 90s reference for any of you old enough.
He's best on the brakes. Tom taking that sweeping outside line. Pagani holds it tight. Through goes Pagani back into the lead of the race then. And Jonesy then up to P8. He's got the move done on me. Back when they switch back, still keeping in touch with P10. Then you've got Kuska, Will and Frome still battling hard. Stephanie 14, Beanbag 15. Wait, in P16 there, but nice sort of fruit salad coloured Lancer there.
Will saying a very strong pace in the front too, absolutely, but one thing you notice is neither of them are getting any penalties whatsoever compared to the rest of us.
Like you see, obviously 11-0, 11-5, then 10-6, 11-8, slightly a slow ride from Pagani, then 10-6, 10-5, 10-9, 10-8, 10-8, so consistently in the 1 minute 10s. T. Smith much the same, 11-1 last time. Closing.
With this sort of consistency, it's always going to come down to a last couple of laps.
I'm just starting to spread out again, and Jonesy's had a moment somewhere. It's Jonesy's moment there, so you're
off the hook.
You're off the hook. Now battling with Steph then as they round the hairpin. Steph down the inside in that Lancer. He's trying to switch back though.
Oh, this is brave.
Respectful drive in there. Hip and shoulder in the first part. As you're hanging on around the outside, they're giving the inside for the next part, and through he goes. However, he's about to immediately give that place back again with that penalty he's about to serve. Just about managing to get around the outside then. Kuska's dropped back now behind Panda and Frome. They've also got switch back right in there, crosshairs. I've just kind of fallen into no man's land now as Chubbs has pulled away. Meanwhile, trying to close in on you. The gap's holding steady. Ross, you've got me back at Ross a little bit as well.
Yeah, I was trying to catch him. He was keeping a good pace. It took a few solid laps to try and get back in contention.
Just an idea of how evenly matched the front two are. Last time round, Pagani did a 1:10.921. Tom did a 1:10.917. So 4 thousandths difference between those two over the lap.
There is the difference there, just between pace and consistency. I think if you look back through, I think, yeah, you see my last lap there was a 1:10.5, so it is doable. It's just consistency more than anything else.
So you're doing quite like 1:11 twos and ones there, so you're kind of just a couple of tenths away, but that 1:12.3 there was probably a penalty lap, I assume.
Yeah.
Then you say 3 laps of the 1:10, so if you get into a rhythm around here, then
yeah, exactly.
Good. And also doing his best lap last time around. 10.6. And you can see him there just kind of in the low 11s and the high 11s and the 10.7, 10.8. And this is obviously quite late into the race now, so there's quite a bit of tyre wear at play here as well now. So you'd think the faster laps would have kind of come sort of lap 3, 4 when it starts to string out a little bit.
Everyone just sort of settling in a bit.
P6 as Chubb is closed back in again. Now lonely P8, Panda now P9. Just as Steph. 2.5 to go. Pagani and T. Smith continuing to lead the way. Only pulling out a couple of tenths on the last lap. Different lines there. Pagani kind of going wider later. T. Smith earlier. He's got a good slingshot there, so right back onto the rear bumper of Pagani then.
I wonder if it's a function of these different cars, because they seem to be taking different lines through almost every corner.
Indeed then. T. Smith then hits the front as we start the penultimate lap of the race. On 11.3, so having a bit of a lap, then sends it down the inside of Tom again into turn 1.
It's coming back.
Something about it, not close enough. Section there where really it's only a mistake that's going to let you through. A little bit wide there though. Turn back in there, just missing that dirt there and a possible penalty. You don't want at this stage of the race because that would be an absolute killer. Ross has also now got Alfa Romeo right behind him. Back there trying to get onto the podium. Aaron's just tantalisingly just out of touch. Not able to get into this battle. Graham holding off Chubbs. Meanwhile for P6. Trundling around on my own throne, is now up to P9 ahead of Panda. Still there as well. Switch back just behind them. Then Jonesy covering after his dramas, and Steph, Beanbag and Nobby. Here we go then, starting the final lap then. It's Pagani versus Tom. Once again. Half a second quicker that lap, Pagani. Again there you can see they're going for that swooping line, goes wide in. Get the cut back, but
yeah, gets in the run. Still work to do.
The corner, so not really under threat at this stage. There's no real way through here. In fact, doing a purple sector 1. Tyre wear wise, fairly equal between the two. Kicks up the dirt.
Any way to get back for T. Smith.
Well, Ross now under all kinds of pressure from you.
Have a look. I think this was probably the one and only chance to make a move.
Just to upset his rhythm.
Trying to, yeah. Just taking a couple of corners wide there.
As they come through the tunnel for the final time then. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Pagani leads. Here comes the Lamborghini.
Oh, he's got a massive launch.
Indeed, and that Ferrari's not a slouch. Here though comes T. Smith. Coming to the line.
Gonna make
He's going to hold on. Pagani wins then the first round of the season. T. Smith gets second. Ross just hangs on for third. With Sean fourth. Aaron comes home P5. Chubbs gets Graham, but then has a penalty on the final lap, so Graham jumps in for P6. Chubbs is P7. Very lonely P8 for myself. Track race to the line, meanwhile.
Ooh.
It goes in favour of Panda.
That just so close.
Kuska. Jonesy P12. Switchback P13 on his return. Steph is P14. Beanbag P15. And Nobby, I was thinking that until now. Frome was saying in the chat after the first race that he thought he looked ahead. And to be fair, from that angle, it did look like the year he's actually ahead. But line. He is the 16th and final finisher.
He's still not having it.
Not having it. No, sorry, then. So that was a race 1 done then. That means obviously we now head to the Group 3 race, and that will be a reverse grid of the order of the first race then. So
Remember to turn the music off.
Oh, I do, yes. Good point. Where is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It'll probably be in here somewhere. It's options. Sound volume.
Jonesy in the chat referring to that right-hander down the hill as pure chlamydia. Just, yeah, fair enough.
Right, that should be it.
Yeah.
Items, lobby.
As we can see, full grid today, which is really good to have. Obviously, it's taken a lot of time getting back into GT7 with the issues the game has had. So people taking a break, drifted away from it. We're now back to a full grid of cars. So yeah, the hope is definitely there to get a second division running again. So. Yeah, and we've got a few reserves in, so absolutely. If we can get a few more involved, we should be back to 2 divisions pretty soon, hopefully.
Right then, so running order then for the main race. 25 laps ahead of us. And we are starting off with our pole sitter for this one. It's Nobby Norris. Mikey in second. Steph starts P3. Switchback is P4. Jonesy P5. Frome is P6. Panda is P7. I am P8. Chubbs P9. Graham P10. Aaron in P11. Yourself, Sean, P12. Ross is P13. T. Smith is P14. Pagani P15. Unfortunately, Cusco was not able to take part in the main race. So just 15 starting this one then. And let's get going then. Now, a little bit of practice might have helped, and you'll see why we say that quite quickly. As away we go then. Norris then leading us up towards turn 1 for the first time.
I can't think that comment's anything to do with the car we're just looking at, no?
No, not at all. There is a frame looking at Panda. On the inside of Will. And Chubbs spinning up immediately.
There he goes.
Yes, we see that.
Get that traction control on.
Dennis is coming back at me then around the outside. This, of course, is now a long loop. So it's
absolutely every single time think, I can take that bit full throttle.
Nobby wide as contact switch back. Contact with Josie's. Throw gets spun off around, goes Steph. It's all chaos in the pack then.
Contact further back as Steph
3-4 wide, trying to go for this left-hander there. Frome's getting hung out to dry. There's more contact and rubbing. Graham's in the middle of it as well. Oh, somebody else on the outside. Who was that?
I think this now shows why we don't do standing starts.
I think it was Chubbs going off again. And Beanbag has come through and into a lead then. So
away.
Running order then, after all the chaos has sort of addressed itself, is Mikey now leading from Nobby Norris. Third is Switchback. Jonesy up to 4th. Graham is 5th. Panda 6th. I'm 7th. Aaron is up to 8th already. Frome down to 9th. And it's yourself, Sean, 10th. Tom is 11th. Ross is 12th. Chubbs is 13th. Pagani's had a drama now as well. He's all the way down to 14th. Right where the action is there. Wide there's Jones. I think he just picked off Jonesy. And Will looking very racy as well in the Genesis.
A tight line from Switchback.
Absolutely horrendously tight chicane. And he will I'm trying to get the inside of Jonesy then to come across the bridge. That's the move done. That Genesis is an absolute weapon in a straight line. Let's do a lap on board with Beanbag then of the new Grand Valley Highway then.
No pressure, Mikey.
So and then braking hard down the gearbox. Ooh, we've got to stop though.
Yeah.
That's a great stopping power then. And outside then you sweep left here where we get straight on before. This high speed chicane. Does he lift? No, he's flat. Good to see that then. Watch out, track limits on the left there. Then watch for the 400 breaker down the gearbox then all the way down to first gear. No, he's just in second.
On the soft tyres, Mikey, which is interesting. You have to use the mediums at least once during this race.
Yeah, then. This double left-hander where you kind of roll through the corner into the middle.
So difficult.
He's on the grass.
Oh no, oh no.
Gravel.
Oh, he's choked.
Double around in a dirty tyre, needs to be careful there for a couple of corners.
Still got a good lead though.
Off the pack, through the tunnel then, and into the second long loop then. Goes wide again, onto the marbles. Through the left-hander then, back onto the right. Across the bridge now. Tunnel then, brake late as you dare. Mikey then hug the inside, then it's a quick flick left. And mind the bollards, you can't touch the bollards there. You want to kind of ride these curves, but you can't really do it because they will give you a penalty if you even think about touching them.
That was nicely done that time.
So, yeah, that starts to build the speed then over the bridge into the tunnel then as we rejoin the full circuit loop. To the start finish straight we go. Gets more Mikey, oh god. Can we stay with Mikey a little bit longer? Look on the outside then. Doing a new fastest lap there for him. That's quickly usurped by Panda, who was flown through into P2 then, so the Genesis flying through then. He's now to second place then, with switch back in third. Jonesy still running well in fourth. Graham is fifth. I am P6. Aaron in P7. T. Smith is P8. Chubbs has recovered from his earlier misdemeanours. He's in ninth, but carrying a penalty, of course. Sean, you are P10. Frome is 11th. And we've got Ross in P12. Pagani's only made it one place then, and Nobby Norris has slipped all the way to the back. We have lost Steph, unfortunately. Where are the battles at the moment? Got a yellow flag. Who is it? It is, of course, inevitably Mikey. I think we need an action replay of what's gone on here.
This corner is just horrendous in the Group 3 cars.
You just carry a little. Oh, he just lost the back. But going in, starts to slide, catches it, and it goes the other way. That is unfortunately a mid-engine car issue.
Yep. I've had that a few times in the Alpha, trying to sort of trail brake through the corner, and it just doesn't work.
Mikey then having gone from the lead all the way down to P13. So well done, that has then elevated Will into the lead of the race then. Won a race in his first season FTRL. Leading a second one here. The leaders come onto the bridge, and it's Panda from Switchback, from Jonesy, from Graham, from myself, then Aaron, Tom, Chubbs, Sean, Frome, Ross, Pagani up to 12th then, Beanbag and Nobby Norris. So they feel still quite close together at this stage, and 3 laps in. Genesis then looking very, very rapid in a straight line. Beautiful panoramic view there. Cars coming over the bridge. Close to this stage, and this battle between T. Smith and Aaron then. T. Smith looking for a way through then. It's Ferrari versus Lamborghini. Lamborghini getting a really good slipstream down the straight. Pops out to Aaron's right then. This is on the outside for the kink, but the inside for the hairpin. And Chubbs as well coming through. Oh, Chubbs is absolutely hot into there. Gets the move done. Big twitch. Aaron has to back out of it. And now he's got to run on T. Smith down the hill as well. Around the outside he goes. That is great. Oh, contact with T. Smith.
Just eased him out of the way there.
Tory car moves. I know Tom was saying at this stage of the race that Chubbs had a habit of sort of going past you, getting a penalty, dropping back, and then repeating. So
that's the sort of move you make. It's the sort of move you make when you know there's no consequences of a 300-foot clip in front of you.
Yeah, so you're on the back of this train as well. This little foursome. And here, Ross in the dirt. Only P12 at the minute, so a bit of work to do there for him. On those medium tyres. Meanwhile, Panda pulling away, and his lead's about to grow as Switchback has picked up a 5-second penalty. It's a bit more painful because it's a longer straight, so you probably lose about a second and a half now with the penalty there, even a half-second penalty. Chubb serving his penalty as through goes T. Smith. Aaron alongside as well. And through, so T. Smith up to 6th, Aaron to 7th, Chubb's down to 8th. And looking to get involved in this battle as well. Aaron now sideways there out of the chicane. Ooh, in the background, I think it was you having a twitch there as well. So another penalty for Chubbs.
And
you as well.
You've got one as well, yeah. Just had to correct going through the corner, I think, and then just, yeah, as you say, hit the clip the bollards on the way through.
Drag race down the straight then. It's the Genesis versus the Ferrari. Genesis is absolutely rapid in a straight line. To the outside he goes. And trying to hold the inside line then. Chubb's going to try and go around the long way. He's on those soft tyres, so we're getting plenty of extra grip, and he's using that to his advantage. He gets the move done. There's a good move back from Chubbs.
Nicely done.
He was completed. He sets about chasing down after T. Smith again. He's now chasing down the Aston Martin pair, myself and Graham. Checking in with our race leader now, and they're doing an absolutely outstanding job at this stage. And fastest lap of the race on the medium tyre as well. I might add. His lead now probably looking up there 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's a quick time on the mediums as well.
You're going really well in P3 as well. Very nicely with that Honda. I'm liking this track as well. Graham also going well in 4th. And I have a problem. And that problem is a T. Smith shaped Lamborghini on my rear wing. Chubb's all about to serve his penalty, so dropping out of this battle again. What's Mr. Smith going to do here? Meticulously making his way forward. With his probably his biggest rivals behind him, Aaron and Pagani. Chance here to open up an early advantage in the points then. Here we go. Picked up on my rear wing. I saw him a lap ago. Blast past Aaron. Blast past Aaron. Just feels like he's lacking a little bit of straight line speed. In fact, he's like 5 or 6 miles an hour faster than me already. Then going to give him the right hand side there, but squeezes on the dirt. Brakes as late as he dare. However, I'm going to switch back underneath him. And very much shut that door in his face. So hanging on for at least one more lap. Chubbs has once again rejoined this fight then. Genesis is it looked like it's going to be a problem car this season for a lot of people, because that thing is absolutely rapid. Of course, on the soft tyre as well, so you can see tyre wear is a bit of a problem. There's a tyre squeal behind us. Who or what was that? So he dropped away a little bit at this stage.
Yeah, I've started struggling a bit at this point. Also, the Genesis gets on really, really well with sort of mid-speed corners. Your sort of third gear corners. You can really, get the power down, which evidently is, showing promise elsewhere as well.
Smith now has picked up a penalty as Chubbs goes through. So Chubbs up to P6 now. Checking the leaders then. Panda's lead maybe down a little bit here. So maybe about the same. So yeah, Will doing a good job of maintaining that gap. 10th difference on the last lap. Jonesy's closed in on switch back a little bit. Graham also hanging in there. Meanwhile, it's a bit of a slaughter. This is a Genesis versus an Aston Martin in a straight line. And Chubbs is already 5 miles an hour quicker in a straight line without a slipstream. So not much of a contest there. Genesis through he goes. One's wide. Again, using those soft tyres, swoop around the outside, hanging onto the place.
T. Smith with a penalty in the background there.
Indeed,
yes. One for the collection.
Indeed. Not sure where that came from. So look there now, a little bit. I kicked the inside there, and I've kicked up the dirt there, and I believe I'm about to get a penalty as well. Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
Myself, so Aaron licking his lips here at 2 places to be made up. However, I'm going to stay with this battle for a minute, because I think something might be about to happen. Let's see. This tricky double right-hander into the hairpin. Starting to pull away. A little bit hot there. Oh, very hot there. Right. Keeps it pointed. Keeps me looking to the inside. Do I go deep into the corner? No, I don't. So he just spins me out. What a cunt. What a cunt. Round we go, facing the wrong way.
It's
Absolutely
that was a little bit scary
diabolical.
to come through.
This is how he wins championships, punting people off. Disgusting behaviour. Absolutely disgusting. And then just sods off as well. And just to compound my misery, I've got to serve that half-second penalty now as well. So it's all gone a little bit wrong there. So yeah, exactly what typical Tom that. So Panda now leads, but he has a half-second penalty himself. As you can see, that lead has now grown over switchback. Jones has dropped back a little bit in third. Let's look at the lap times then. So Panda this time 48.4, 48.6 then from switchback. Jonesy on a 49.5. Graham has now got a Genesis Lake problem ramping up in his mirrors. Aaron then has been inherited P6. He's a sentinel who's deployed to wipe out his enemies from the front. Now you have elevated yourself up to 7th. Graham is 8th. Pagani out to 9th. They're making slow progress, Pagani, to the field, but making its way back towards the front. Still some opening lap dramas. Getting back up to P10 with the Lamborghinis in tow. Tom and Ross in close proximity to each other. Down to 13 for myself and Nobby. Learning the track as he goes along in P14. There are the battles at the moment. We've got Graham and fending off Chubbs at the minute.
Well, penalty should bring these three together quite nicely.
So Jonesy there serving his penalty. It's going to bring him back towards this battle as well now. So podium staring at the face of Graham and Chubbs here. Let's do a quick livery rundown where we had it. So we've got the Genesis is running the Napa livery, of course, infamous in this season's British touring cars. A fan of this livery, Sean?
No.
No?
Not really, actually.
No, fair enough. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't know how man can be so wrong in one word, but there you go. Then we've got Switchback, and so this is something I believe his creating, or maybe not. It's probably too good to be Zach's, so he's just stolen this livery. But whoever did this livery did a really good job. So
it's
say thanks to them, Zach, from us.
A lot easier to steal liveries now.
Jonesy running the livery. I think Mike has done then, and so Graham has been demoted to P5 by Chubbs.
Yeah.
I do quite like the sort of the dark blue, the white, and the orange there. It's
yeah.
Black, it looks nice. Mike has done a good job with that one. Chubbs there in the same livery. Obviously, I reserve judgment on the Aston livery, so I'll let you have your opinion.
No, I like the Aston livery.
Graham, they're coming in with those Aston Martins are looking sexy. They are indeed, very sexy indeed. Then we've got the Milka livery.
Classic.
Classic indeed. One of those classic timeless liveries. Then we've got another version of the slightly more plain one, I think, this time, maybe, rather than a...
Yeah. Understatement.
Very, very similar to the F1 car, this thing, obviously, with the green instead of the red.
That's exactly where it came from. Just nicked an F1 style livery and changed it to green.
So, I'm not giving him any credit for that. In fact, that's just a Super GT livery there. So, Beanbag had to lose a place to the Lamborghinis there, and the yellow livery or yellow flips on his car. This is T. Smith, right? Will's just come in and said your livery is awful, Sean, no creativity. T. Smith then going back to his stealth black. Push from his teammate then, he's got a little bit more colour on it, a little bit of orange. He's stolen that from GT1 livery, is it? GT1 Endurance one. And we've got Nobby in his Arsenal away strip. So back with the leader then, on lap 10 of 25, and Panda continues to lead. Good evening, Peteman. Hope you're well, my friend.
Here he is.
Here he is. Switchback still giving chase though, so the front two doing a really good job at the minute, and Jonesy hanging on there as well, despite the pressure from Chubbs and Graham. He's holding fast now. Chubbs' tyre wear very, very bad on that front left. Soft tyre though, it's gone further than I thought. I didn't think the soft tyre would last that long as it did. See there, quite a big difference. So we'll look at the sort of difference there between Jonesy and a mid-engine car. You see there a lot more rear rear wear on that left tyre.
Yeah, there was a lot of, I think there's quite a few people obviously starting on the mediums, and certainly in my case there was a bit of consternation as to just how long the softs would last when he went onto them for the second stint, and sort of gauge it.
Yeah, Graham saying watch out for fireworks P3, so we'll keep an eye on this battle. See what's going on then. See this trio around. Taking the distance there, Will and switch back. So Bruce there, Aaron in the background there, just brushing the wall there, scraping a little bit of that paint off. A little less iconic. They're having a discussion about the most iconic livery in FTRL and whether or not it is the Milker one or an other discuss. Pagani's there going about his super cheap one. It's not really your super cheap one though, is it, Pagani? It's that Chaz Moster's super cheap one. You've just commandeered for your own usage.
We all know it's the Gold 4 GT anyway, come on.
I mean, that worked out so well for you.
Yeah. Everyone remembers it.
Yes, they do. What's
going on here then?
Well, we've got a slingshot for P3. However, Josie's going to give him a nudge. And then a spear. And a wipeout. Oh, Josie using the T. Smith tactics to take back P3. However, Chubbs ends up facing the wrong way of not of his own doing this time. Josie deciding to park up and wait. And that then has released the top two. Back into P3 then. And a bit of a gap. In fourth. Aaron did a good hit, Josie. Was indeed absolutely superb steer. Roman Reigns would have been proud of that one. Going now onto the back of yourself. He's got a penalty.
That's the mid-engine car again, going around that corner. Jeez.
Grand Valley drift there from the Alfa Romeo. That's not going to do your rear tyre wear any good.
It's already starting to look a little bit sketchy considering I'm going to have to go another 4 laps on it. You'll see that pay dividends in a few laps' time.
So then that's elevated thrown to 7th then. Chubbs has recovered to be 8th then. He's got the Lamborghinis behind, or the Lamborghini T. Smith and Jonesy. He's just recovered. There's Mikey just behind him. And then Ross. And me contemplating my life choices. And Nobby having a lovely Friday night amble. So Will stretching that lead now. Times are down into the 49s. Back as well, so these two running fairly consistent pace with each other.
That front
Mike's
left.
tyres. Let's have a look at Mike's tyres. Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
Look at that front left. Both left tyres. Jesus Christ, Mike. This is probably why I think he pits on this lap, and I fully understand why.
Driving over a succession of cheese graters. Here comes the pits.
Sandra Chubbs pits. Smith goes through, Jonesy goes through, Greenback pits, understandably, like a puncher. In order then, so Will's tyres looking a little bit second hand, just that foot left on the mediums, but going well. There was a switchback facing the wrong way at the hairpin. The Peugeot man has dropped it then, gets going again, might be down to 4th, down to 5th. Back there, he's doing such a good job there, keeping Will honest. Oh, big twitch there from the Alfa Romeo in the foreground.
Getting so dodgy by this point. Even though I don't think the tyres were that bad, but even so.
Oh, so he's had another off then. Oh, it's all going wrong for switchback. Having been a comfortable P2, he's now slipped back and look at the lead that Will's got then. So Graham coming onto the bridge. As Will comes off of it then, so Will now has a huge lead, and that Genesis very hard to beat. We're about to start into the second half of this race. Great job so far from Will, very consistent, very clean. It's everything you need to do in these kind of races, especially when there's been some chaos behind, just sort of spring some gaps.
Given that tyre and fuel wear though, it would seem he'd be likely to go on to another set of mediums for the second stint, but I think you'll see probably some go on to the softs.
About a pit stop there, but carry on. There you go. Through Pagani goes. Switch back and throw. Peugeot is not the quickest in the Group 3. The Group 4 one is a rocket. The Group 3-1 not so much. The Lexus, however, is very rapid a straight line. Freb's going to try and move around the outside then. So that gives him the hip and shoulder. I'm trying to hang on around the outside. Switch back, shutting the door in his face. P6 for now. T Smith in the background. Dirty cheating bastard. P8. Recovery drive. Tyres not looking too bad then. Chubb's now on a set of medium tyres then, so having run the softs in the first stint, he's now on to the mediums. I'm on my way with a penalty to my name. Beanbag. He should just hit me out. I'll be in for his stop as well. So Will continuing to lead then, on to lap 13 now.
Looks like you have to pit this lap.
Used
an awful lot of fuel.
Yeah, that fuel left tyre also looking very, very second hand as well.
I don't recall personally having any issues with fuel. I see everybody else is, yeah. Genesis
tyre wear on Graham's car then. Graham's absolutely standing job there on his tyre wear. So it's one thing he actually does have going for it.
Well, and all the Genesis seems to be drinking fuel.
Yeah, very thirsty car, that one.
And here he comes.
You see Graham almost on a quarter of a tank behind him. Aaron maybe on the fifth. Neither of them on the red line. In fact, Aaron's going to go around and do another lap.
Yeah.
So he's looking to go to the soft tyre probably for the second half of the race, perhaps.
Indeed.
Leaders are in. So he's going through as well. So you're just under about a fifth of a tank as well. Switch back there. This time he's looking second hand as well, but he's going to carry on. Back into a rhythm before his stop.
Yeah,
Graham on his way.
Didn't really know.
Graham's in. T Smith's in. Jones is in as well.
Didn't really know how long the soft tyres would last, so the thought was to try and push it to. Oh no! Oh dear!
A Mikey moment who nearly then back to sleep. I remember that now. Very nearly killed me.
So I thought I'd try and just push it to 15 laps, and then that proved to be a interesting decision. As you'll probably see in a moment.
Ooh.
There it is. For no reason whatsoever.
Going the sandcastle.
Thinking about tyre strategy. And then we had a nice little battle coming up here. And I thought, oh, could I squeeze there? No. I'll have a go. Maybe not. Oh, no, hang on.
Oh, no. He's going over the edge. He's going to commit Harry Carey. Oh, he survived. That's down one of the markers, though. Marshall's on the left there, fuming. Got to go and move that now.
Absolute shambles.
So that has got T Smith tucked up behind him. But that's what I'll say too, because it's Ross keeping quiet by that minute. It's a Ross who has not yet stopped. You can see the Lamborghini there, so good on its front tyres. Look at that. That's front right, so it is good as new. So we're making short work of him then. Going on another set of mediums then, so let's see who's gone to what then. So Aaron in this time, isn't? No, Aaron's gone around again. That's a switch back. And so we'll have you. And then Aaron onto the medium tyres. Still out on his mediums. Graham on another set of medium tyres. Pagani, they're going on to the softs, however. Graham's out on the medium tyre. And he's got T Smith in his wheel tracks then. Maybe close enough for a move into turn one, not quite. Shutting the door. I can't stop headbutting my arm, stop it. This week going through the S's. And down the inside into the hairpin then. And again, getting the move done.
Move.
Nice move, that one there. A track that's not necessarily blessed with a lot of obvious overtaking opportunities. Sometimes you have to make your own, but good respectful racing there. covering Chubbs as well. Peter is now on the medium tyres as well. Jonesy's out on another set of mediums. Two back out on the medium tyres. Greenberg on his mediums as well. And as is Nobby. In then comes race leader Aaron. Into lap 15. Switchback following suit. He's into the pits. And yeah, you have followed in as well then. So your front three are in for their mandatory stop. And that means that FTRL Panda will re-elevate himself to the lead as Ross pits as well. So 4 of the top 5 are in. And that then gives Will the lead of the race back again. Then coming through back into P2. Doing a really good job. This one then, Aaron coming out in third. Just ahead of his team, and then so Pagani and Aaron on track together. Third and fourth. Aaron on fresh softs. Pagani on a couple of laps on his. Switch down through the S's. Battles at the moment. Switchbacks come out just behind Frome.
See just how much that accident cost me.
Yeah.
Probably about 5 places. 4 or 5 places in it.
Yeah. Handful of places there that everybody's just kind of spread out at this stage. So nobody really close at the minute. Then to look at Will's lead at this stage, and he is now going on to the old loop. Graham behind him. He's now got 2 purple Ferraris starting to appear larger and larger in his mirrors. That Lamborghini not far away either.
Yeah, they all come.
So great. Graham said at the chat he now knows what it's like to have these 3 drivers just zooming up behind him in a race.
So does that Aston Martin come fitted with a toilet? Hopefully.
Ooh, having a wall in the background then. He's going to go through. Through them. Running out of talent there for a moment. And now is the one to lead the chase after Graham. Fournier having set the fastest lap of the race. He's saying he almost detonates Graham with his first overtake, so keep an eye on that then. Got a couple of laps to come for that one. And switchback then are starting to do battle. Give the man in charge what he wants. Flying formation, milker cars. I mean, I'm sure Pagani will agree. They definitely look really good running in this order, don't they? Pagani. As it should be. Still holding them off, but that gap getting closer and closer. Both these Ferraris now on the soft tyres. More grip at this stage of the race. Right up to the curve, they're just dying out for the railing and barrier in the background yet. Getting closer and closer. Just managed to put away. In fact, he's lost switchback. He's now under a threat from yourself as they go onto the bridge. Drag race.
It's getting quite foggy out there.
I think a few people were just commenting in the party about there's a bit of cloud coming over here. Wow, deep burn. Just back out on the dirt. Tries to get back after Romeo. Going well in Peter, and I think he's very a little bit gutted after that accident. He was running really strongly in the podium places. He probably would have been about where Graham was, but he was ahead of Graham.
Yeah.
Ross in P11. He's now on the soft tyre. Probably. Keep an eye out. Onto a straight, so anything can happen. I think he's okay. Will, meanwhile, continues to lead then. Comfortably so.
That lead is growing. So slightly. Yep.
So where is he? So he's going through the tunnel. Graham's coming out the corner before it. Into the tunnel now, and they're going onto the loop. So have a look on the bridge here. This is probably a good indicator of whether or not he's in the lead. Before he was at the far end of this bridge as Graham was coming onto it.
Yeah.
He's onto the bridge now. Just look in the background. There they are. So that might be down a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
He's probably just pacing himself at this stage. 48.7s for the last couple of laps.
Graham's just putting his fastest lap. It's not making any difference against Pagani and the soft tyres.
Pagani's now there. Aaron, meanwhile, is starting to get the black Lamborghini becoming an issue in his. Already look at the tyre wear on that Lamborghini compared to the Ferrari there, so that is really eating its tyres. There we go then. Pagani has closed in. We'll have slipstream down the straight then. The speed difference here, Pagani 155, Graham's at 150. So again, the 5 mile hour difference there for that Ferrari.
Here he comes. Hello.
It's an almighty send. Inside, kicks at the dirt, runs wide. Graham switches back on him. Absolutely diabolical. Rookie dive bomb there from Pagani. Destroying the nicest man in the FTRL. How dare you? I'm calling out there.
Oh, he's having another go.
Another go. Very, very wide there. Well, this is that he's letting the two behind close as well. For Tom and Aaron closing in. This is now 4 cars for P2. Further back then, Chrome and Chubbs battling over P6. Oh, and in the background, that switchback having another moment. There goes Jonesy. Hidden there behind the barrier. We saw that, don't worry. Ross in P11. P12 closing in, more penalties though. P13, Nobby still going P14 then. Will more serenely up front, the back to this battle then for the podium. And they're driving down the middle of the road, and make it as hard as he can do for these Ferraris. A little bit deep, Pagani follows him in. Have a nibble at him as he comes out of the tunnel. Kicking up the dirt there in the background. There we go then. With the slipstream. Ferrari close enough again into the tunnel. Already there. Shine as you want to go. Goes to the right, up against the pit wall. They give them the inside for turn 1 when they get there. That Ferrari then just dragging by. A bit of side draft there to hold on. More better braking ability. Goes a little bit deep then. The hay bale in the middle of the road there. Somebody's kicked up. And Pagani then through into P2. Just if Graham thought his problems were over, they are very much not over because Aaron and T. Smith are right in behind as well. And thinking about a move into the hairpin. Again, yeah, Graham sees it coming. And just slots down the inside there. It's far too nice, Graham. You definitely should have squeezed him onto the gravel. Want a more staunch defence next time, please. Give them nothing. And now T. Smith is all over the back of him then. 2 purple Ferraris. Have to try and run away. T. Smith going to make it 2 for 2 and punt off Graham as well. Keep an eye on it. We thought about it there, didn't he? You could see it. The intention was there.
FTRL, of course, known for its completely impartial commentary.
Absolutely. At all times. Thinking about popping out. Graham is held off as they get into the tunnel. Some cones being flicked up there. And the Ferraris. So we're already there. Quite sure. You see the Ferraris now just starting to ease away.
Yep. T. Smith needs to get this move done.
A little bit wider there, just so he doesn't catch him in the tunnel. Get him on the straight. There we go then. Going 150, 156 again. The Lamborghini like 5 or 6 miles an hour quicker. Pulls up alongside the pit wall. And through he goes. I mean, I didn't think he was going to commit there either, Graham. I thought he was going to wait to turn one and then punt you off, but there we go.
Tom will always commit to the inside.
He will, yeah. Or send him the wrong way around. So then through goes T. Smith then. The Ferraris then begin their chase then of our race leader. Still on his way, still lapping. Look at the lap times there from Will since he's been back out on track. 48.9, 48.87, 48.7, 48.5, 48.7, 48.5.
Fantastic.
Super consistency there. Obviously the Ferraris are quicker at this stage on soft tyres, but of course their tyre wear is starting to grow. And they're going to be screaming by the end of this race. So we'll come back to them there. So the dirt again on the outside there. Chubbs now has recovered to P6. Got you behind him.
Penalties.
Also in touch on P8. I don't know if there's going to be a factor later on, but Frome's got less fuel than everybody else around him at this stage. But I'm sure it's not going to be a problem. Frome,
I'm sure he'll manage it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. Yeah.
Usually does. So insane differences in tyre wear which flick through the cars.
Let's have a look. And so Will's tyre's looking good.
Doing well.
Front left again looking a little bit worse for wear, but you'd expect
Big
that
advantage of two medium
Ferraris.
stints. So.
Look, I mean, there's a couple of laps difference there in the tyres.
Yeah.
I think we're thinking team orders here. Fernando is faster than you. Going out. So go on, he tries to let Aaron through by squeezing him up against the wall. Love that.
He's going to go for it anyway. There we go.
And he runs wide, lets him through. And Aaron then will begin pursuit of FTRL Panda. I'll be there to say get stuffed Pagani. I am faster with you, and away goes. Smith in chase, but look already, that left rear tyre of that Lamborghini is absolutely crying. Compared to the Ferraris, now bear in mind these are both mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars, and that left rear tyre is looking very, very angry already. Graham's tyres and his rear tyres are, well, the Lamborghini had that much tyre wear coming out the pits. On the medium tyre then, Chubbs and yourself, Sean, battling hard over P6. The car feel a bit better on the soft tyres.
Very much so, yeah. Could make it through this corner without going sideways for a start, so...
I'm just coming to him and Tom pitted on the same lap, and they look at their tyre wear. And his front tyre wear is very comparable, but the rear tyre wear...
Yeah.
Quite a lot worse than that Lamborghini on that left rear. And meanwhile... Right, still under 40, it's another 48.8 that time around, and a 47.3 though, so that's 1.5 seconds he took out of him. There's some time to claw back, but Will managing that gap nicely. Just needs to keep it clean. Those tyres now starting to look a bit angry on both Ferraris. We've got them done on Chubbs then for P6. But Genesis straight line speed about to come back into effect.
Yeah.
There we go then. Now the Alfa Romeo is no slouch in the straight line either, to be fair.
Yeah, true. One of the advantages.
It kind of nullifies the advantage that Genesis has over most of the field. 8th, Jonesy battling with Switchback then. Of course, these two were running 2nd and 3rd earlier on, battling over 9th and 10th, which I think they'd be very disappointed with, considering how it could have been for them. That tyre barrier has made it way down the hill to the middle of the road.
Did we finish before Nobby at this, right? Sorry, Nobby.
Ouch.
Sorry, I've been such a bitch tonight.
Hey, is that what the B stands for in your name?
Must be.
No, that's a half-second penalty. That's going to lap down then. So Will into the tunnel. Ferrari's continuing to give chase. Lamborghini's left rear tyre looking angrier and angrier. Of course, once you get to the very bottom, once that bar gets all red, it'd be basically like a puncher.
You will
absolute
die.
Zero grip. Smith's starting to slide a lot there, even through that chicane. Oh my god, look at the twitch on that Lamborghini there.
2 laps to go as well.
2 full circulations to go then. Across the line, here comes the race leader then. To the 49s on the last lap, 49.4.
What's the gap now then?
48
Let's
and
see,
across the line now.
4 seconds.
4 or 5 seconds, yeah.
It's a lot to catch up.
Yes, indeed, on 2 laps. And with the 47.8s, well, with the 48.9s, there goes the tyre bail again. Bit of Mario Kart-esque banana skins. So he took, what did he take out in that time? 1.1?
Not quite enough.
So not enough, with 2 to go. Oh no, giving it the beans. Garney. Nothing to worry about T. Smith, despite that awful tyre on that Lamborghini. So very much in this battle then for the final step on the podium. They're now in a very secure P5. Chubbs meanwhile has got back ahead in the battle for P6.
That's probably a penalty.
So they go. Chubbs now running wide. No, he got away with it. Frome has the red light of doom. But I'm sure it's not a problem. I'm sure he's got plenty saved in reserve.
He's only got a lap and a half to go. He'll be alright.
Yeah, it's fine. 1.3, bit of fuel saving. He'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure I'll finish P8. Thinking about a move at the inside of Chubbs there. Oh, open the door. Any means necessary. Squeezing wide. Probably there, getting out of the way. Switch back in the background there, plugging the wall. He's currently prevailed in his battle with Jonesy. They battle over 9th and 10th. And I'm trying to give Ross a little bit of company for the last couple of laps. I haven't seen nobody for a long, long time. On to the final lap then. Continues to lead then. A gap now probably, what, 3.5 seconds as T. Smith all over the road there. He's trying to get the power down that Lamborghini. Look at that rear tyre now. That thing is gone. That left tyre is done. Hopefully it's the final lap of the race. That guy's going to be very slidey there. You can see him struggling to change direction there as he goes for an accidental send. They'll probably put him off. Oh God, he's gone deep as well. His tyre's not looking too healthy now at this stage. Just about getting it stopped. Having battled for the win in race 1, they're battling for P3 in this one. Graham then, solid P5, not under any threat from behind. As, oh dear me, there we go. Chubbs battling hard at this hairpin, through goes Frome. Chubbs there ends up in the dirt. Taking each other off.
Be a nice P7 for Frome then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah, P8, and he's still back in P8 then. Chubbs has got back ahead. He's also now on the red line though. Switch back, and Jonesy. Ross himself giving chase. Through the chicane there for the final time. There goes the Genesis. There's the Ferrari. Not being able to do anything about it. Pagani and just about being able to hold off. T. Smith then as they head through the tunnel for the final time then. And it is victory in the first Group 3 race of Season 20 for the Benesis.
Fantastic
and
race.
the wins. Aaron comes home P2. Great effort from him to try and chase that down. Pagani gets P3. T. Smith, disgusting. P4. Undeserved. P5 for Graham, solid drive for him. There's Sean then coming through. Got Chubbs. What's happening? Oh, Frome. Oh no. Oh no, Frome's slowing. What's going on? Oh no, Frome's run out of fuel. Oh, this must be an FTRL first. Frome has run out of fuel. Through goes Jonesy. And Frome's just trundling down the straight then, so it's P6, so it's P5 for Graham, P6 for South Sean, P7 for Chubbs, P8 is switched back, P9 is Jonesy. Nobby Norris has to take avoiding action to get around Frome, who's trundling down the start-finish straight. Here comes Ross.
Ross is going to
surely Frome's still going to get 10. No, Ross is going to pip him.
No.
He's lost out of the top 10. And he's still trundling towards the line. And here I come and I take P11. Oh no. P12. Mikey's too far back, I think, so he'll safe at least P12 there. Frome, yes, well, Frome is out of fuel. But I know it's a novel thing, it never happens. Frome never runs out of fuel. must be a first. Mikey then coming around the final couple of corners over the bridge into the tunnel. Had good pace at a couple of points in this race, but that's an inevitable desire of his to spin out. Feeling the weight of being P1. 13 there for Beanbag. And that then is your lot then. That's everybody. And that is the first week of action done then. So, week 1, how do you think your week went, Sean?
Up and down. Silly penalties, really. Silly accidents, especially in the second race. I think, fortunately, missed the occasion where I just headbutted a wall for no reason in race 2.
Okay.
But yeah, there's lots of interesting things to take away from that race, especially
no
the
reason at all. Yeah, I'm sure.
The varying sort of
qualifying
strength.
Again was my Achilles heel. Just, I mean, the margins were so tight in that first race. I say I was literally less than a tenth off Graham. Graham was P6 and I was P10. So that was how tight it was. So I need to work on that 1 lap pace, and obviously I need to put a "do not hit me" stick on the back of my car for Tom's benefit for the main race. So we shall see. So back next week then, next Friday, and it is Catalonia for round 2. Then we're doing the short circuit in the Group 4s, and I do believe it's a double Group 4 race next week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So 2 Group 4 races next week, and then the main feature race coming from the full GP circuit. And hopefully, I think it's the one with no chicane in it. So we're back to the old layout. That stupid Mickey Mouse 5 chicane. Thank God. I hate that God. So again, please do join us for that. Thank you very much for those who've tuned in tonight. If you haven't already liked the stream, please do so. If you'd like to get involved in FTRL, please do get in touch with us on Twitter, which is @_FTRL_. And we'll be back next week where we will do this all over again and some more. But from myself, good evening. Sean.
Good evening, everyone.
All right, see you again.
Bye.